It's food o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and today I'm probably going to show you the weirdest bite that I've ever reviewed on the channel. I was in Morrisons looking at their Christmas food, and I had to I looked away and I looked back, I couldn't believe it. Fish, chips and mushy pea bites. How unusual. I mean, of course, from a chip shop, fish, chips and a bit of mushy peas on the side, all fresh, fantastic, absolutely wonderful. But on the side, in a bite even, that's a bit weird, isn't it? They go in the oven for 15 minutes on gas max 6, so it's 180 for a fan assisted oven, 200 degrees if it's just on its own, if it's just a plain old oven. But they're 282 grams. They come in a 3 for 10 deal, Christmas aisle in Morrisons, 3 different bits and pieces, lots of stuff on offer, 3 for 10. But I didn't want anything else, so I had to buy these on their own. And get this, they were £4.50. £4.50. It's enough to make your eyes water, isn't it? Price like that, it's almost kind of extortionate. 3 for 10. I suppose it's not too bad, but £4.50, oh, makes you want to cry. The other thing I'm going to show you today, these are usually £2.50 in Morrisons. They're a Scottish company called Mash Direct, and they're fresh chips. You can air fry these in 15 minutes. They got tempura batter on the outside of these chips, but I picked these up on offer for the quite cheap price of £1.50. So some things are very expensive, some things on offer. I think that's quite cheap, £1.50 for however many grams of chips we got. What does it say? 400 grams. Right, so without further ado then, the chips go in for the least, so I'm going to put these fish, chips and mushy pea bites you find this happens all the time these days. Remember when these film packets just used to open? Have you ever bought poppadoms recently? With a film top? They don't open anymore. They used to open fine, but they don't open anymore. There they are then, all of those in there. Nobody else in the family is going to eat this, so I might as well cook it all up. So I'm going to put these in for 20 minutes. I'm going to cut these open. I'll put these in after 5 minutes. They look good, don't they? Tempura battered chips. And I'll be back when all of this is cooked. Okay, this food is about to ding on the air fryer, but I just want to offer up some smell-o-vision if I can. This is smelling absolutely fantastic. Whether it's whether it's the tempura batter on the chips, whether it's the batter on the fish, it's all smelling terrific, it really is. So, knife and fork at the ready. Beer pump breaking on me. Look at that! Gotta love golden food, haven't you, eh? The nation's favourite, golden food. Wrap everything in batter. Oh, blimey. I've just turned this video into one of those kind of YouTube eating competitions. What have I done? Why have I cooked all this for myself? What a greedy boy. Oh. That was all right. That was all right. Probably needs a ton of vinegar on it. Yeah. Do you know, but the thing is, with these videos, is I could run and get the vinegar, but you're messing about with the flavour then. You know, I know this type of food needs a ton of vinegar, and I might just review a fish, chip and mushy pea bite and a chip and then run off and get some vinegar in a moment. But for now, let's cut one of these open. So what are we saying then? Fish, chip and mushy pea bite. Let me have a look at one half and you can have a look at the other half. It looks like a fish cake, to be honest with you. I think it's quite a clever, ingenious way of saying it's just a fish cake with some potato and some mushy pea in a battered bowl. Now, that's probably going to be the case. They're not going to fit a miniature chip inside this, are they? As always with food reviewers, boiling hot food in the mouth then. Oh, it's already vinegared. It's already vinegared. Oh, and it's quite fishy too. Oh. Oh. They've covered them in vinegar. They really have covered them in vinegar. But they're quite fishy. Oh, they're quite do you know when you walk through a fish market? We got one in Cardiff in the city centre. My wife goes through the fish market, part of the market. She holds her nose. Well, most people do. Most people holding their noses walking through the fish part of the market. But this, yeah, it's quite fishy. What fish is it? Oh, it's cod. 30% cod, potato water and 7% peas. So it's cod then. You're probably thinking right now, or you're probably furiously typing, Simon, you're reviewing fish. It's going to be fishy. But this is kind of unusually. This is like... This is bordering too much fishy. Put that together with the really strong vinegar taste. Really, and I mean really strong vinegar taste. It's making my eyes go funny. I don't like them. No. No. No more. It's starting to get my reflexes going. I think what they've done here, because it's fresh fish in batter, they've completely covered it in vinegar to hide that really fishy taste. And I mean, if you buy frozen cod in batter, it's kind of fresh, it's frozen, it comes out your freezer, it goes in your oven. There's no time for it to get fishy, is there? But these, because they're just chilled and they've gone through transportation, they've been on lorries, they're sitting in an open chiller, that they're not the greatest chilling things, are they, in the world? I think the fish has had time to become fish market fishy. And they know that, and they've tried to get over that problem by coating them, sticking a ton of vinegar in them. If you're not a fan of vinegar, you're really not going to like these. If you're almost lost for words now, if you're kind of a little bit prone to the smelly fish markets, then you're definitely not going to like these at all. And all of that masks the mushy pea. You don't really taste the pea at all in there. You're much better off. You are much, much better off. I know, go to the fish and chip shop. Go to the fish and chip shop, order the fish on arrival, say, put me in some cod, get some mushy peas and chips all separately, and enjoy it as it's supposed to be enjoyed. They're probably cold enough now to rip one open, but probably best avoid this abomination. Yeah, this is a complete abomination, and I'm kind of annoyed that I've paid £4.50 for the damn things too. Well, at least it's not going to be one of those food eating competitions, because I won't be eating any more of these fishball things. Right, let's check out these chips then. Mash Direct beer battered chips. The first chip was a little bit kind of underwhelming. You see that tempura batter on the outside. Lovely fluffy potato. But even those, they've almost got a watery consistency to them. And also like yeah, right. There's water. Water, starch, amaranth flour, and then we go down the list again, and then there's more water in the gluten-free beer, which is 1%. Even those, I've had better. Even these chips, I've had better home fries from McCain. McCain's home fries, and they're probably coming in cheaper. They're just really oily. It doesn't taste like beer batter at all. Poor quality chip. Ugh. So it turns out then that this meal that's cost me £6, chips for £1.50, cod bites for £4.50. I've had a couple of bites, and the chips have left this oily, filmy, awful layer on my mouth. And the fish things, fish chips and mushy peas, over vinegared, overly fishy, fish market tasting cod. Rubbish. It's all rubbish. It really is. And they're not the cheapest supermarket anymore, are they? Have you noticed Morrisons? It used to be very reasonable in Morrisons. Now it's not cheap. It's like they're stuck in this kind of middle ground of like stuck between Marks and Spencer's prices and like being hammered by the likes of Lidl and Aldi and Asda to some extent. It's like they're in this weird void of not quite knowing what they want to do at the moment. These Mash Direct chips, although they're not Morrisons, they're from a separate company. They're from, oh, I said they were from Scotland. They're actually, so there's an Irish address on the back and then there's a Scottish address on the back. But they're mashdirect.com. Really poor. I reviewed Marks and Spencer's chips the other day, chunky chips, and they were amazing. They were fantastic. These just don't compare. They don't compare. They're like they're a real poor 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 for the chips. Fish chips and mushy pea bites from Morrisons. I won't be eating anymore. I'll be cutting the rest up for the dog. Right chain there. So they're a 2 out of 10. They're even worse. I think that's the most negative I've been in a food review. And I'm not, you watch my reviews on a daily basis, some of you. I'm not an overly negative person. But when you have kind of like stuff like this that you're paying for with your hard-earned cash and it turns out to be utter rubbish, then it's quite annoying, really, isn't it? It's quite annoying, especially with the prices of food and everything else at the moment. It's not really kind of on, is it? It needs to be sorted out. So Morrisons, get your act together, sort out this overly fishy, overly vinegared beer, fish chips and mush peas thing, or just take them off the shelves. And as for Mash Direct, I don't know what to say. I mean, if you've kind of just centered all your kind of energy on making beer battered chips, at least make them good. If you're going to charge £2.50 for them, at least make them blooming good for 400 grams worth of chips. Really poor. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.